guys, and welcome back to another Wiki Wednesday Whispers. This week we're going to be talking about Harry Potter. I thought this would be a fun one to do for a couple reasons. One, because Harry Potter is pretty popular, and two, this video is actually it's coming up on the 1-year anniversary of kind of when I started regularly making videos. I had made a video like back in March, I think it was, but then I didn't make any until December, and after that I started regularly making videos again, and so this will be 1 year that I've been like regularly making videos. So to me it kind of feels like I've been making videos for a year, even though it's technically been a little bit longer than that. I don't typically consider that first video to fully be a part of it. I don't know, it's been consistent-ish, aside from a few interludes or periods where I didn't really make videos for a while. Things got a little bit too busy, and that's in the past. We don't need to talk about that too much right now. You guys know about that. But the other reason I chose Harry Potter specifically for this video is that my first video, the one that I made back in March, I believe it was March, was a whispered reading of part of the first chapter of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, the 6th book of the Harry Potter series. Since then, that video has gone on to become my 6th most popular video. Kind of funny that it's the 6th Harry Potter book and it's my 6th most popular video. Excuse me. It's got about 720 views as of recording this. And it's always been a very popular video for me. It was a video that I kind of enjoyed making, but because of some concerns with regards to copyrights and things of that nature, I've never gone back to reading a published copyrighted work like that. But I think that it was part of the inspiration for what has led to the Wiki Wednesday Whispers videos, because I was looking for something to that I could consistently make, and that could potentially be something that I was reading that would have a lot of content, like a book, but that would not be copyrighted. And one of my subscribers suggested I read Wikipedia articles, which is what I've been doing since then. And I really liked it. I learned a lot about stuff. I don't remember all of it, or a lot of it, but it's been a lot of fun making these videos this past year. We're not quite at a personally, I've always kind of preferred videos where I could see the person kind of face rather than just a picture over it. It feels very static. Feels like, I don't know. It feels like, why am I watching a video if I'm just gonna watch a picture? But then, why are you gonna watch my face as I read for an hour? So, I don't know. Let me know what you think, though, because that's really what matters. Isn't what I think, it's what you think. I've also been making the Pokemon Let's Play. I think some of you guys have really been enjoying that. I've really been enjoying your comments. I do want to apologize. The sync up on the audio and the video has not been great lately, so I'm going to work on making that better in the future. This last video, there were a number of times where I kind of react to something and I'm excited, and then you see what I'm talking about in the video happen. It's just like a 1 second delay, but for the first time in a long time, if not ever, I watched maybe half of one of my videos, and I was kind of cracking up as I watched it because I kept getting excited in the video, like in the audio, and then what I was laughing about would happen on the screen, and it kind of made for like a very strange dynamic. So yeah, I do apologize for that. I'm gonna try and make that better, but I do hope that in the meantime you can get as much of a laugh out of that as I did. So yeah, let's get started though, because I've now rambled for 7 minutes, which I think is my longest time I've ever just rambled before one of these videos. And yeah, so this is gonna be a long one as is. We don't need me talking about silliness for a while. Okay, alright, enough. So, Harry Potter is a series of 7 fantasy novels written by the British author J.K. Rowling. The series chronicles the adventures of a young wizard, Harry Potter, the titular character, and his friends Ronald Weasley and Hermione Granger, all of whom are students at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The main story arc concerns Harry's quest to overcome the dark wizard Lord Voldemort, who aims to become immortal, conquering the wizarding world, subjugate non-magical people, and destroy all of those who stand in his way, especially Harry Potter. I'm getting kind of like, I kind of think of them as like nostalgia chills, sort of like very minor ASMR tingles, just from the nostalgia and the excitement of thinking about things from my childhood, of which Harry Potter was a very big part. I hope that you guys get that too. Let me know if you do, because I wonder if I'm the only one who gets that. I don't know. Anyways, since the release of the first novel, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, on the 30th of June 1997, the books have gained immense popularity, critical acclaim, and commercial success worldwide. The series has also had some share of criticism, including concern for the increasingly dark tone. As of July 2013, the books had sold between 400 and 450 million copies, making them one of the best-selling book series in history, and had been translated worldwide. The books, with the 7th book split into 2 parts, have been made into an 8-part film series by Warner Brothers Pictures, the highest-grossing film series as of October 2014. The series also originated much tie-in merchandise, making the Harry Potter brand worth in excess of $15 billion. Because of the success of the books and films, Harry Potter-themed areas known as the Wizarding World of Harry Potter have been created at several Universal Parks and Resorts themed parks. So the next section is about the plot of the series, so I'm gonna read through this, but I'll also leave a link or section of the description if you want to skip ahead to the end of the plot section so that you don't get any spoilers if you haven't read or seen the movies yet, which if you haven't, I highly recommend go do so. Pause the video, go check them out because they're phenomenal, but I will put that there just in case so that you don't get any spoilers if you don't want them. Otherwise, just keep listening. So, plot. The novels revolve around Harry Potter, an orphan who discovers at the age of 11 that he is a wizard living within the ordinary world of non-magical people known as muggles. His ability is inborn, and such children are invited to attend an exclusive magical school that teaches the necessary skills to succeed in the wizarding world. Harry becomes a student at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and it is here where most of the events in this series take place. As Harry develops through his adolescence, he learns to overcome the problems that face him, magical, social, and emotional, including ordinary teenage challenges such as friendship, infatuation, exams, and the greater test of preparing himself for the confrontation in the real world that lies ahead. Each book chronicles 1 year in Harry's life, with the main narrative being set in the years 1991 to 1998. The books also contain many flashbacks, which are frequently experienced by Harry viewing the memories of other characters in a device called a pensieve. The environment Rowling creates is completely separate from reality, yet also intimately connected to it. While the fantasy land of Narnia is an alternative universe, and Lord of the Rings Middle-earth a mythic past, the wizarding world of Harry Potter exists in parallel within the real world and contains magical versions of the ordinary elements of everyday life. Many of its institutions and locations are recognizable, such as London. It comprises a fragmented collection of overlooked hidden streets, ancient pubs, lonely country manors, and secluded castles that remain invisible to the Muggle population. Early years. When the first novel of the series, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, published in some countries as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, opens, it is apparent that some significant event has taken place in the wizarding world, an event so very remarkable, even the Muggles notice signs of it. The full background to this event and Harry Potter's past is revealed gradually through the series. After the introductory chapter, the book leaps forward to a time shortly before Harry Potter's 11th birthday, and it is at this point that his magical background begins to be revealed. Harry's first contact with the wizarding world is through a half-giant, Rubius Hagrid, keeper of crowns and keys at Hogwarts. Hagrid reveals some of Harry's history. Harry learns that as a baby he witnessed his parents' murder by the power-obsessed dark wizard Lord Voldemort, who then attempted to kill him also. For reasons not immediately revealed, the spell in which Voldemort tried to kill Harry rebounded. Harry survived with only a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead as a memento of the attack, and Voldemort disappeared afterwards. As it is inadvertent savior from As Harry begins to explore the magical world, the reader is introduced to many of the primary locations used throughout the series. Harry meets most of the main characters and gains his two closest friends, Ron Weasley, a fun-loving member of an ancient, large, happy, but poor wizarding family, and Hermione Granger, a gifted and very hard-working witch of non-magical parentage. Harry also encounters the school's potion master, Severus Snape, who displays a deep and abiding dislike for him, and the defense against the dark arts teacher, Quirinius Quirrell, who later turns out to be controlled by Lord Voldemort. The plot concludes with Harry's second confrontation with Lord Voldemort, who in his quest for immortality yearns to gain the power of the Philosopher's Stone, a substance that bestows everlasting life. The series continues with Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, describing Harry's second year at Hogwarts. He and his friends investigate a 50-year-old mystery that appears tied to recent sinister events at school. Ron's younger sister, Ginny Weasley, enrolls in her first year at Hogwarts and finds an old notebook, which turns out to be Voldemort's diary from his school days. Ginny becomes possessed by Voldemort through the diary and unconsciously opens the Chamber of Secrets, unleashing an ancient monster which begins attacking students at Hogwarts. The novel delves into the history of Hogwarts and a legend revolving around the chamber that soon frightened everyone in the school. The book also introduces a new defense against the dark arts teacher, Gilderoy Lockhart, a highly cheerful, self-conceited know-it-all who later turns out to be a fraud. For the first time, Harry realizes that racial prejudice exists in the wizarding world even before, and he learns that Voldemort's reign of terror was often directed at wizards who were descended from Muggles. Harry also learns that his ability to speak Parseltongue, the language of snakes, is rare and often associated with the dark arts. The novel ends after Harry saves Ginny's life by destroying a basilisk and the enchanted diary, which had been the source of the problems. The third novel, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, follows Harry in his third year of magical education. It is the only book in the series which does not feature Lord Voldemort. Instead, Harry must deal with the knowledge that he has been targeted by Sirius Black, an escaped mass murderer believed to have assisted in the death of Harry's parents. As Harry struggles with his reactions to the Dementors, dark creatures with a power to devour a human soul, which are ostensibly protecting the school, he reaches out to Remus Lupin, a defense against the dark arts teacher, who is eventually revealed to be a werewolf. Lupin teaches Harry defensive measures, which are well above the level of magic generally executed by people his age. Harry learns that both Lupin and Black were both best friends of his father, and that Black was framed by their fourth friend, Peter Pettigrew. In this book, a recurring theme throughout the series is emphasized. In every book, there's a new defense against the dark arts teacher, none of whom lasts more than one school year. Voldemort returns during Harry's fourth year of school, detailed in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Harry is unwillingly entered as a participant in the Triwizard Tournament, a dangerous contest where Harry must compete against a witch and a wizard champion from visiting schools, as well as another Hogwarts student, causing Harry's friends to distance themselves from him. Harry is guided through the tournament by their new defense against the dark arts professor, Alastor Mad-Eye Moody, who turns out to be an impostor, one of Voldemort's supporters named Barty Crouch Jr., in disguise. The point at which the mystery is unraveled marks the series' shift from foreboding and uncertainty into open conflict. Voldemort's plan to have especially Harry. Despite Harry's description of Voldemort's recent activities, the Ministry of Magic and many others in the magical world refuse to believe that Voldemort has returned. In an attempt to counter and eventually discredit Dumbledore, who along with Harry is the most prominent voice in the wizarding world attempting to warn of Voldemort's return, the Ministry appoints Dolores Umbridge as the High Inquisitor of Hogwarts and the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. She transforms the school into a dictatorial regime and refuses to allow the students to learn ways to defend themselves against dark magic. With Ron and Hermione's suggestion, Harry reluctantly forms Dumbledore's army, a secret study group aimed to teach his classmates the higher levels skills of defense against the dark arts that he has learned from his previous encounters with dark wizards. An important prophecy concerning Harry and Lord Voldemort is revealed, and Harry discovers that he and Lord Voldemort have a painful connection, allowing Harry to view some of Voldemort's actions telepathically. In the novel's climax, Harry and his friends face off against Voldemort's Death Eaters at the Ministry of Magic. Although the timely arrival of the members of the Order of Phoenix saves the children's lives, Sirius Black is killed in the conflict. In the 6th book, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Voldemort begins waging open warfare. Harry and his friends are relatively protected from that danger at Hogwarts. They are subject to all the difficulties of adolescence. Harry eventually begins dating Ginny. Ron establishes a strong infatuation with fellow Hogwarts student Lavender Brown, and Hermione starts recognizing her loving feelings for Ron. Near the beginning of the novel, lacking his own book, Harry is given an old potions textbook filled with many annotations and recommendations, signed by a mysterious writer, the Half-Blood Prince. The book is a source of scholastic success and a great recognition from their new potions master, Horace Slughorn. But because of the potency of the spells that are written in it, becomes a source of concern. This book is Harry takes private lessons with Dumbledore, who shows him various memories concerning the early life of Voldemort and a device called a pensieve. These reveal that in order to preserve his life, Voldemort has split his soul into pieces, creating a series of Horcruxes, evil enchanted items hidden in various locations, one of which was the diary destroyed in the 2nd book. Harry's snobbish adversary, Draco Malfoy, attempts to attack Dumbledore, and the book culminates in the killing of Dumbledore by Professor Snape, the titular Half-Blood Prince. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the last book in the series, begins directly after the events of the 6th book. Lord Voldemort has completed his ascension to power and gains control of the Ministry of Magic. Harry, Ron, and Hermione drop out of school so that they can find and destroy Voldemort's remaining Horcruxes. To ensure their own safety as well as that of their family and friends, they are forced to isolate themselves. As they search for the Horcruxes, the trio learns details about Dumbledore's past as well as Snape's true motives. He had worked on Dumbledore's behalf since the murder of Harry's mother. The book culminates in the Battle of Hogwarts. Harry, Ron, and Hermione, in conjunction with members of the Order of Phoenix and many of the teachers and students, defend Hogwarts from Voldemort, his Death Eaters, and various dangerous magical creatures. Several major characters are killed in the first wave of the battle, including Remus Lupin and Fred Weasley. After learning that he himself is a Horcrux, Harry surrenders himself to Voldemort in the Forbidden Forest, who casts a killing curse, Avada Kedavra, at him. The defenders of Hogwarts do not surrender after learning of Harry's presumed death and continue to fight on. Harry awakens and faces Voldemort, whose Horcruxes have all been destroyed. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, a purported Hogwarts textbook, and Quidditch Through the Ages, a book Harry reads for fun. Proceeds from the sales of these two books benefited the charity Comic Relief. In 2007, Rowling composed 7 handwritten copies of the Tales of the Beetle and the Bard, a collection of fairy tales that is featured in the final novel, one of which was auctioned to raise money for Children's High Level Group, a fund for mentally disabled children in poor countries. The book was published internationally on the 4th of December 2008. Rowling also wrote an 800-word prequel in 2008 as a part of a fundraiser organized by the bookseller Waterstones. All 3 of these books contain extra information about the wizarding world not included in the original novels. In 2011, Rowling launched a new website introducing an upcoming project called Pottermore. Pottermore opened to the general public on the 14th of April 2012. Pottermore allows users to be sorted, be chosen by their wand, and play various mini-games. The main purpose of the website, however, was to allow the user to journey through the story with access to content not revealed by J.K. Rowling previously, with over 18,000 words of additional content. So that is the end of the plot section. Next up is structure and genre. So those of you who skipped the plot section, welcome back. The Harry Potter novels fall within the genre of fantasy literature. However, in many respects, they are also Bildungsromans or coming-of-age novels, and contain elements of mystery, adventure, thriller, and romance. They can be considered part of the British children's boarding school genre, which includes Rudyard Kipling's Stackley and Co., Enid's Blyton's Mallory Towers, St. Clair's and Naughtiest Girl series, and Frank Richards' Billy Bunter novels. The Harry Potter books are predominantly set in Hogwarts, a fictional British boarding school for wizards, where the curriculum includes the use of magic. In this sense, they are in a direct line of descent from Thomas Hughes' Tom Brown's School Days, and other Victorian and Edwardian novels of British public school life. They are also, in the words of Stephen King, shrewd mystery tales, and each book is constructed in the manner of a Sherlock Holmes-style mystery adventure. The stories are told from a third-person limited point of view, with very few exceptions, such as the opening chapters of The Philosopher's Stone, Goblet of Fire, and Deathly Hallows, and the first 2 chapters of The Half-Blood Prince. In the middle of each book, Harry struggles with the problems he encounters, and dealing with them often involves the need to violate some school rules. If students are caught breaking rules, they are often disciplined by Hogwarts professors. However, the stories reach their climax in the summer term, near or just after final exams, when events escalate far beyond in-school squabbles and struggles, and Harry must confront either Voldemort or one of his followers, the Death Eaters, with the stakes a matter of life and death, a point underlined as the series progresses by one or more of the characters being killed in each of the final 4 books. In the aftermath, he learns important lessons through exposition and discussions with head teacher and mentor Albus Dumbledore. In the final novel, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Harry and his friends spend most of their time away from Hogwarts and only return there to face Voldemort and the Diamantment. I'm not sure what that word is. It's not English. Themes. According to Rowling, a major theme in the series is death. My books are largely about death. They open with the death of Harry Harry's parents. There's Voldemort's obsession with conquering death and his quest for immortality at any price, the goal of anyone with magic. I so understand why Voldemort wants to conquer death. We're all frightened of it. Academics and journalists have developed many interpretations of themes in the books, some more complex than others, and some including political subtexts. Themes such as normality, oppression, survival, and overcoming imposing odds have all been considered as prevalent throughout the series. Similarly, the theme of making one's way through adolescence and going over one's most harrowing ordeals, and thus coming to terms with them, has also been considered. Rowling has stated that the books comprise a prolonged argument for tolerance, a prolonged plea for the end to bigotry, and that also pass on a message to question authority and not assume that the establishment or the press tells you all the truth. While the books could be said to comprise many other themes, such as power, abuse of power, love, prejudice, and free choice, they are, as Rowling states, deeply entrenched in the whole plot. The writer prefers to let themes grow organically, rather than sitting down and consciously attempting to impart such ideas to her readers. Along the same lines is the ever-present theme of adolescence, in whose depiction Rowling has been purposefully in acknowledging her character's sexualities and not leaving Harry, as she puts it, stuck in a state of permanent prepubescence. Rowling said that to her the moral significance of the tale seems blindingly obvious. The key for her was the choice between what is right and what is easy, because that is how tyranny is started, with people being apathetic and taking the easy route and suddenly finding themselves in deep trouble. Origins. In 1990, Rowling was on a crowded train from Manchester to London when the idea for Harry suddenly fell into her head. Rowling gives an account of the experience on her website saying, "I had been writing almost continuously since the age of 6, but I had never been so excited about an idea before. I simply sat and thought for 4 delayed train hours, and all the details bubbled up in my brain, and this scrawny, black-haired, bespectacled boy who did not know he was a wizard became more and more real to me." Rowling completed Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 1995, and the manuscript was sent off to several prospective agents. The second agent she tried, Christopher Little, offered to represent her and send the manuscript to Bloomsbury. Publishing history. After 8 other publishers had rejected The Philosopher's Stone, Bloomsbury offered Rowling a £2,500 advance for its publication. Despite Rowling's statement that she did not have any particular age group in mind when beginning to write the Harry Potter books, the publishers initially targeted children aged 9 to 11. On the eve of publishing, Rowling was asked by her publishers to adopt a more gender-neutral pen name in order to appeal to male members of this age group, fearing that they would not be interested in reading a novel that they knew to be written by a woman. She elected to use J.K., Joan Kathleen Rowling, using her grandmother's name as her second name because she had no middle name. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was published by Bloomsbury, the publisher of all Harry Potter books in the United Kingdom, on the 30th of June, 1997. It was released in the United States on the 1st of September, 1998 by Scholastic, the American publisher of the books, as Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. After Rowling had received $105,000 for the American rights, an unprecedented amount for a children's book by a then unknown author. Fearing that American readers would not associate the word philosopher with a magical theme, although the Philosopher's Stone is alchemy related, Scholastic insisted that the book be given the title Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for the American second book, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, was originally published in the UK on the 2nd of July 1998 and the US on the 2nd of June 1999. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban was then published a year later in the UK on the 8th of July 1999 and in the US on September 8th, 1999. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire was published on the 8th of July 2000 at the same time by Bloomsbury and Scholastic. Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix is the longest book in the series at 766 pages in the UK version and 870 pages in the US version. It was published worldwide in English on the 21st of June 2003. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince was published on the 16th of July 2005, and it sold 9 million copies in the first 24 hours of its worldwide release. The seventh and final novel, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, was published on the 21st of July 2007. The book sold 11 million copies in the first 24 hours of release, breaking down to 2.7 million copies in the UK and 8.3 million in the US. Translations. The series has been translated into 67 languages, placing Rowling among the most translated authors in history. The books have been translated to diverse languages such as Azerbaijani, Ukrainian, Arabic, Urdu, Hindi, Bengali, Welsh, Afrikaans, Albanian, Latvian, and Vietnamese. The first volume has been translated into Latin and even Ancient Greek, making it the longest published work in Ancient Greek since the novel of Heliodorus of Amisa in the 3rd century AD. Some of the translators hired to work on the books were well-known authors before their work on Harry Potter, such as Viktor Golshev, who oversaw the Russian translations of the series' 5th book. The Turkish translation of the books 2 to 7 was undertaken by Sven Okyar, a popular literary critic and cultural commentator. For reasons of secrecy, translation can only start when the books are released in English. Thus, there is a lag of several months before translations are available. This has led to more and more copies of the English editions being sold to impatient fans in non-English speaking countries. Such was the clamor to read the 5th book that its English language edition became the first English language book to ever to top the bestseller list in France. The United States editions have been adapted into American English to make them more understandable to a young American audience. Completion of the series. In December 2005, Rowling stated on her website, 2006 will be the year when I write the final book in the Harry Potter series. Updates then followed in her online diary, chronicling the progress of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, with the release date of the 21st of July 2007. The book itself was finished on the 11th of January 2007 in the Balmoral Hotel, Edinburgh, where she scrawled a message on the back of a bust of Hermes. It read, J.K. Rowling finished writing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows in this room, 5:52 on the 11th of January 2007. Rowling herself has stated that the last chapter of the final book, in fact the epilogue, was completed in something like 1990. In June 2006, Rowling, on an appearance on the British talk show Richard and Judy, announced that the chapter had been modified as one character got a reprieve, and 2 others who previously survived the story had in fact been killed. On the 28th of March 2007, the cover art for Bloomsbury adult and children versions and the Scholastic versions were released. In September 2012, Rowling mentioned in an interview that she might go back to make a director's cut of 2 of the existing Harry Potter books. Achievements. Cultural impact. other live entertainment have achieved popularity with Potter's fans and have been highly successful in attracting fans and selling books, with nearly 9 million of the 10.8 million initial print copies of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince sold in the first 24 hours. The final book in the series, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, became the fastest-selling book in history, moving 11 million units in the first 24 hours of release. The series has also gathered adult fans, leading to the release of 2 editions of each Harry Potter book, identical in text, but with one edition's cover artwork aimed at children and the other at adults. Besides meeting online through blogs, podcasts, and fan sites, Harry Potter superfans can also meet at Harry Potter Symposia. The word Muggle has spread beyond its Harry Potter origins, becoming one of few pop culture words to land in the Oxford English Dictionary. The Harry Potter fandom has embraced podcasts as a regular, often weekly insight into the latest discussions in the fandom. Both MuggleCast and Pottercast have reached the top spot of iTunes podcast rankings and have been both one of the top 50 favorite podcasts. Commercial success. The popularity of the Harry Potter series has translated into substantial financial success for Rowling, her publishers, and other Harry Potter-related license holders. This book has made Rowling the first and thus far only billionaire author. The books have sold more than 400 million copies worldwide and have also given rise to the popular film adaptations produced by Warner Brothers, all of which have been highly successful in their own right. The films have in turn spawned 8 video games and have led to the licensing of more than 400 additional Harry Potter products, including an iPod. The Harry Potter brand has been estimated to be worth as much as $15 billion. The great demand for Harry Potter books motivated the New York Times to create a separate bestseller list for children's literature in 2000, just before the release of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. By the 24th of June 2000, Rowling's novels had been on the list for 79 straight weeks. The first 3 novels were each on the hardcover bestseller list. On the 12th of April 2007, Barnes & Noble declared that the Deathly Hallows had broken its pre-order record, with more than 500,000 copies pre-ordered through its site. For the release of the Goblet of Fire, 9,000 FedEx trucks were used, with no other purpose than to deliver the book. Together, Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble pre-sold more than 700,000 copies of the book. In the United States, the book's initial printing run was 3.8 million copies. This record statistic was broken by Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix, with 8.5 million, which was then shattered by Half-Blood Prince with 10.8 million. 6.9 million copies of prints were sold in the U.S. within the first 24 hours of its release. In the United Kingdom, more than 2 million copies were sold on the first day. The initial U.S. print run for Deathly Hallows was 12 million copies, and more than 1 million were pre-ordered through Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Awards, honors, and recognition. The Harry Potter series have been the recipients of a host of awards since the initial publication of Philosopher's Stone, including 4 Whitaker Platinum Book Awards, all of which were awarded in 2001, 3 Nestle Smarties Book Prizes, 1997 to 1999, 2 Scottish Arts Council Book Awards, 1999 and 2001, the inaugural Whitbread Children's Book of the Year Award, 1999, the W.H.S. Smith Book of the Year in 2006, among other things. In 2000, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban was nominated for a Hugo Award for Best Novel, and in 2001, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire won said award. Honors include commendation for the Carnegie Medal 1997, a shortlisting for the Guardian Children's Award 1998, and numerous listings on the Notable Books Editor's Choice and Best Books list of the American Library Association, New York Times, Chicago Public Library, and Publishers Weekly. A 2004 study found that books in the series were commonly read aloud in elementary schools in San Diego County, California. Based on a 2007 online poll, the National Education Association in the U.S. listed the series in its Teacher's Top 100 Books for Children. 3 of the books, Sorcerer's Stone, Prisoner of Azkaban, and Goblet of Fire, were among the top 100 chapter books of all time in a 2012 poll by the School Library Journal. Adaptations. Films. In 1998, Rowling sold the film rights of the first 4 Harry Potter books to Warner Bros. For a reported £1 million. Rowling demanded the principal cast be kept strictly British, nonetheless allowing for the inclusion of Irish actors such as late Richard Harris as Dumbledore, and for casting of French and Eastern Europe actors in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, where characters from the books are specified as such. After many directors, including Steven Spielberg, Terry Gilliam, and Jonathan Demme, and Alan Park were considered, Chris Columbus was appointed on the 28th of March 2000 as director for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Titled Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in the United States, with Warner Bros. Citing his work on other family films such as Home Alone and Mrs. Doubtfire, and proven experience with directing children as influences for their decision. After extensive casting, filming began in October 2000 at Leavesden Film Studios and in London itself, with production ending in July 2001. Philosopher's Stone was released on the 14th of November 2001, just 3 days after the film's release. Production for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, also directed by Columbus, began. Filming was completed in summer 2002, with the film being released on the 15th of November 2002. Daniel Radcliffe portrayed Harry Potter, doing so for all succeeding films in the franchise. Columbus declined to direct Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, only acting as a producer. Mexican director Alfonso Cuarón took over the job, and after shooting in 2003, the film was released on the 4th of June 2004. Due to the 4th film beginning its production before the 3rd release, Mike Newell was chosen as the director for Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, released on the 18th of November 2005. Newell became the first British director of the series, with television director David Yates following suit after he was chosen to helm Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. Production began in January 2006, and the film was released the following year in July 2007. After executives were really delighted with his work on the film, Yates was selected to direct Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, which was released on the 15th of July 2009. In March 2008, Warner Bros. President and COO Alan F. Horn announced that the final installment in the series, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, would be released in 2 cinematic parts, Part 1 on November 19th, 2010, and Part 2 on July 15th, 2011. Production of both parts started in February 2009, with the final day of principal photography taking place on June 12th, 2010. Rowling had creative control on the film series, observing the filmmaking process of Philosopher's Stone and serving as producer on the 2-part Deathly Hallows, alongside David Hyman and David Barron. The Harry Potter films have been top-ranking box office hits, as being a financial success, the film series has also been a success among film critics. Opinions of the films are generally divided among fans, with one group preferring the more faithful approach of the first two films, and another group preferring the more stylized, character-driven approach of the later films. Rowling has been constantly supportive of all the films, and evaluated Deathly Hallows as one of my favorite ones in this series. She wrote on her website of the changes in the book to film transition. It is simply impossible to incorporate every one of my storylines into a film that has been kept under 4 hours long. Obviously, films have restrictions novels do not, constraints of time and budget. I can create dazzling effects relying on nothing but the interaction of my own and my readers' imaginations. At the 64th British Academy Film Awards in February 2011, Rowling was joined by producers David Hyman and David Barron, along with the directors David Yates, Alfonso Cuarón, and Mike Newell, in collecting the Michael Belkin Award for Outstanding British Contribution to Cinema on behalf of all the films in the series. Actors Rupert Grint and Emma Watson, who play main characters of Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, were also in attendance. Audiobooks. All 7 Harry Potter books have been released in unabridged audiobook versions, with Stephen Fry reading for listeners in the UK and Jim Dale voicing the series for the American editions. Stage production. On December 20th, 2013, J.K. Rowling announced that she was working on a Harry Potter-based play for which she would be one of the producers. In her statement, the author said that the play will explore the previously untold story of Harry's early years as an orphan and outcast. British theatre production producers Sonia Friedman and Colin Callender will be the co-producers. So that's going to do it for this installment of Wiki Wednesday Whispers. I hope that you guys have really enjoyed this. If you'd like to see more, be sure to leave a comment and like and subscribe. If you have ideas for more Wiki Wednesday Whispers videos, let me know in the comments. Let me know your ideas, and I would love to make those. I always like getting ideas. It's much easier than coming up with things on my own. Also, for more, check me out on Twitter and Instagram. Links will be in the description below. And on Instagram, you can check out for short 10-second videos. Just get a quick fix of tingles. Call them 10-second tingles. Twitter, you can occasionally get updates about what I'm doing, upcoming videos, things of that nature. And if you like the channel, check out my Patreon page. The link for that is also in